What is up, everybody? Welcome to 5081 Podcast. I am Jeremy, and this is the post-game recap of the Vancouver Canucks versus the Winnipeg Jets. Wow, what a wild game from the two of the top teams in the West. It was a pretty exciting game, back and forth. You know, quite a bit of shots, a lot of hits. But let's get into it. Starting off, first period, a lot of back and forth shots, fast-paced game. Then at 6:39 of the first, Tyler Myers gets 2 minutes for elbowing, putting the Canucks down one. Again, let's see if we can kill this baby. But they were able to kill that penalty. Just over 6 minutes later, Nate Schmidt gets 2 minutes for cross-checking. So here's an opportunity for the boys to try to be up by one, but the Canucks could not capitalize on that power play. So they finished the first 0-0, and shots on nets were 12-7 for Vancouver. So Vancouver was setting the tone, and you know, lots of hits, trying to pepper Hellebuck. Let's try to get to him early, but we'll find out later. Hellebuck stood on his head tonight, that's for sure. But then starting the second, just 18 seconds in, Noah Juleson scores his first goal from Garland and Mikheyev. It looked like Blueger kind of like lost his edge in front of Hellebuck, and kind of like slightly slid and bumped his pad, but no call, thank God for that. But that was Noah Juleson's first goal. And I think they said first goal since 2018 also. He doesn't score very often, but puts the Canucks on the board to make 1-0. And then 3 minutes and 48 minutes after that, 3 minutes and 48 seconds after that, Niels Höglander gets a 2-minute penalty for roughing. So here we go again. Let's just stop this. You know, but we don't need to be down. We're taking really stupid penalties, and it will cost us in this game. You'll find out. So that puts the Jets on the power play, and then 32 seconds left in the penalty kill for the Canucks. Jets would capitalize with Gabriel Velarde down low, backhander short side for his 12th to tie the game 1-1. So, costing us, and especially Höglander. Why is he trying to be roughing? It's just unnecessary penalties, and small things is going to cost us. But then Amon took a huge hit from Lowry, and Philip DiGiuseppe went after Lowry after a big hit in the boards and sticking up for his teammates. And then they start throwing some knuckles. His 5th fight of the season. But Lowry got the best of him, just made him curl up in a ball. So at 9:16, Philip DiGiuseppe got called for 2 minutes for instigator and a 5-minute for fighting, and then a 10-minute misconduct. And Lowry only got the 5-minute for fighting. But again, that was a good thing that DiGiuseppe did. He stood up for his team and his teammate and fought. Toughness, grit. But it would cost them. 9 seconds into that power play for the Jets, they would capitalize. Sean Monahan for his first as a Jet to make it 2-1. His first goal came 9 seconds after that. 9 seconds into that frickin' power play, Monahan scores to make it 2-1. Then 14:19 of the second period, Tyler Myers picks this pass in the Jet zone. He was dangling like McDavid, backhands it past Hellebuck for his fourth and tying the game at 2-2. So he was just like, where is that? Where's that all season? He was just like dangling between like these guys, this big giraffe guy kind of dangling. Then he backhands it, pops it right past Hellebuck. We need to see more of that. Where are those hands? You know? But right at close to the end of the second, JT Miller would get a 2-minute interference call, and I think it's Scheifele. Scheifele also got a embellishment call on that. So they had even out penalties, almost ending the third. So the shots for that period were 26-20 for the Canucks. A lot of shots this game, a lot of shots, a lot of hits. We'll talk about that a little bit more, about the final hits and shots. So going in the third, the Jets kind of start on this little power play, but the Canucks would kill that penalty. So then at 7:47, Juleson tries to go for like this big hit on Scheifele, putting him out of position, leaving Tyler Myers all alone for Kyle Connor to set up Gabriel Vilardi for his second of the game and 13th of the season to pull the Jets into the lead 3-2. Like, it was just like, oh man, like, I don't know if it was Garland. He was kind of going to go in the bench or boards. And then, like, it just seemed like Juleson was just committed to try to smoke him. And then, boom, Myers all by himself. And it was all like a 2-on-1. Myers tried to kind of like crouch down to take the pass away, but Vilardi was right there and tapped it in past Demko to take the lead 3-2. And then 2 minutes later, Kyle Connor takes a bounce pass kind of off the boards from Scheifele into the Canucks zone and buries it past Demko for his 16th of the year to make it 4-2 for the Jets. And as Don Taylor would say, and that's as close as they will come. So there you go. Final score, 4-2 Canucks. So let's talk about the shots on goal. The shots on goal were for the Canucks were 37, and Winnipeg had 28. So the Canucks were peppering them. Like, they weren't being easy on them. Hits. Here's another big one. 37 hits for Vancouver and then 22 for Winnipeg. They had the same amount of hits as shots on net. Face-offs were close. 27 for Canucks, 29 for Winnipeg. And here is what I talked in the pregame. Special teams. So for the Canucks, we're 0 for 4 on the power play, and Winnipeg capitalized on it, 2 for 4, and that kind of makes that difference. Is these special teams, it makes the big difference. Penalty minutes: Canucks 25, Winnipeg 15. Let's stop taking those dang penalties, especially if they're unnecessary. You know, it seems like they just get under their skin, or they're just panicking, or I don't know. Just stop taking these. And Hoglander, you stop roughing. You know. So giveaways again. Canucks 6, Winnipeg only 4, but they got that 1-4, and then Myers dangled with it, so he capitalized on that for sure. Takeaways: 4 Canucks, 3 Jets. Block shots: Canucks were 10, and Winnipeg Jets 18. And I know Rick Bowness, the coach for the Jets, the old assistant coach for the Canucks, he just loves the shot blocking. So you'll see a lot of block shots for Winnipeg. So the big story here is our big Connor Hellebuck. Was on top of his game, and it was hard to do, but he outplayed Demko and was the better goalie tonight. This is the top Vezina Trophy candidates here on display, both of them. It shows to me he's close to being a Vezina goalie, but he's not ready yet. I think the pressure and I just think he just kind of gets rattled when there's a lot of pressure. If you think back to like even the Boston Bruins game, it was big hype, big hype, and everyone was talking about it on all the radio stations. This was a big deal, and laid a goose 4-0. So I just don't think he's like mentally there yet. I think he plays really great to be, but it showed that Hellebuck, he could stay focused, and well, he's a past winner of the Vezina, and it shows why he's like the top contender for this year for a Vezina. He's dialed in. He doesn't let the pressure get to him, and it kind of shows. So let's see. Tonight's game was Hellebuck, 35 saves on 37 shots, 2 goals against, with a .946 save percentage. Like, he is a beast, These are the 2 top USA goalies, We don't even have Canadian goalies like this good caliber. I think right now in the league, who's our best Canadian caliber goalie? I think it's Aiden Hill, and he's not. I don't think he's on the caliber of Hellebuck and Demko yet. But who am I to judge on that? But I just so that was Hellebuck, and let's check out on Demko. Demko was 24 saves on 28 shots, 4 goals against, with an .857 save percentage. So not as good, kind of below his standards. If you watch Demko, the first goal, second goal, he kind of just shrugs off, but then he's getting frustrated. And is that going to cost the Canucks like in the long run? Can he mentally handle it? Because he's a dry guy. It seems like he has no sense of humor, and when he does have a sense of humor, it's pretty dry. That big incident with Swayman. When he's dialed in, he's focused. He's just focused in. But I just don't think yet he can maybe handle those high, intense, pressured games and situations. And that really showed. I didn't believe it, but that Boston game showed me that he gets rattled. So maybe I'm wrong. What's your opinion on that? But I believe that's my opinion on that, because when he's confident, but once he gets rattled, So let's hope that he can kind of just sweep it under the rug and forget this one. He was just outplayed by Hellebuck. Plain and simple. The special teams kind of didn't take care of business and cost us. Cost us also with just taking penalties. So let's just forget about that one. We're allowed a couple losses. So we'll get over that one. And let's look forward to our next one. And our next game is tomorrow, Monday, February 19th, 11 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Central. Canucks versus Minnesota Wild. They are a split so far this season. The first game was December 7th, the Canucks winning 2-0. And then their second game was December 16th, the Wild taking it 2-1. The Wild are 10th in the West. They have played 54 games, and they are 25, 23, and 6 with 56 points in the West. So, but they also are a tough team. So let's just kind of look at the team leaders right now for those between the Canucks and the Wild. So team leaders for points is Pettersson with 72 points, and for the Wild is Kaprizov with 51. Team leader in goals is Besser, 30, and Eriksson Ek with 25. And assists team leaders, of course, it's Hughes with 54, and then Kaprizov with 31. And who do you think is going to be playing net then? You know, do you throw Demko in? Do you let Demko take a break? I think because Demko played, I didn't think he was even going to play this game, really. I thought he would take that Detroit game and then leave this game alone. But do you throw Demko right back into it, get back at her, or you put DeSmith, who's been kind of sitting on the bench for a while? Will it be against Fleury? I think they're trying to say that Demko versus Gustafsson, but who knows with that? I don't think so. I think we would probably see D. Smith versus Fleury, because Demko kind of needs a break. He's been playing a lot, so if we did Fleury. Let's see if Fleury, with his 10 wins, 9 losses, and 3 overtime losses, 1 shutout. He has a 2.83 goals against average with a 902 save percentage. It'd be nice to see the Flower out there. Well, hopefully he doesn't beat us, because we want the wins and we don't want Fleury to get some more wins under his record for all-time leaders. He beat my boy Patrick Wall in all-time wins, so kind of a little sour about that. But he's not going to catch Brodeur, that's for sure. But Casey DeSmith has 7 wins, 3 losses, 5 overtime losses, 1 shutout with a 2.74 goals against average with a 906 save percentage. So we'll see who they put in net. I'm assuming it's going to be DeSmith. So what is your thoughts? Gustafsson, I bet you they'll put in, because they want to put their best goalie, hottest goalie in against the better team and get points, because they're at the 10th place trying to get into that lower playoff spot. And that lower playoff spot is being held in the West by the Blues with 60 points, and then the Kings at 7th with 62. So they are scraping at the door, trying to get those couple extra points to get into the playoffs. So what's your opinion on that next game? What are your opinions on this past game? Like, was it just kind of time to lose? Was it special teams? Just out goaltending? What was it? What do you guys think? Love to hear from you. Give your opinions and suggestions and ideas. So just remember, get up there and set the tone. Until next time, peace!